Hey girls, it's Wednesday, and I'm recording on my phone because I haven't had a computer for a week because somewhere in the hustle and bustle of airports and security, my computer charger got lost, and I'm getting a new one in the mail tomorrow, but that's tomorrow. Um, so thank goodness I opted to have a smartphone temporarily, although I'm not sure if it's going to be temporary anymore. Also, I might have a slight lisp because I've gotten ready for bed and I am wearing a retainer. I had to close tonight and then catch up on all the videos because I still wasn't caught up, since I didn't really have a computer. But I'm caught up now. So first things first, Sharon. I assumed by how long you've been dating and some hints that you dropped and stuff in videos that you would probably be getting engaged fairly soon. But then when I actually saw it on Facebook, I was like, what? This is real? So I'm super excited for you and this next year, I guess, roughly. It seemed that you said in your video, um, as you prepare for um, your wedding and your marriage, and I think that is awesome. Also, unless he's completely uncomfortable with it, I think it would be really awesome for you to have JP in a video with you. Um, sorry. Oh, right, you asked about the place that we stayed in Paris. Well, we were in Paris 2 weeks, and the first week we stayed um, in these friends of mine. They're like a family with three daughters, just like our family is, and my parents are really good friends, and we would spend summers at their country house, and so we've known them for a long time. Anyway, they treat me like family, and two of their daughters were away that first week, so it wasn't even an inconvenience for us to stay with them because we just had their room to us without taking up extra room or anything. Um, so that was the first place we stayed, and then the second week we stayed at a friend of mine's house who was gone for the week, so we had the apartment to ourselves, but it was tiny. Like we actually had a lot more room um, at the other place, but um, yeah, it was kind of nice to sort of have our own place as well, even though it was very cramped. But yeah, and then you asked about the tea. So the tea I had was called King's Tea. It was a blue tea, which is more caffeine than a green tea, but less caffeine than a black tea. And it was called King's Tea, and it had some spices and stuff in it. And anyway, I'd looked at some descriptions, and I knew I wanted a blue tea, but I wasn't sure which one. So I asked for the guy's recommendation. I said, which blue tea do you recommend? And he said that one. So I said, all right, I'll give it a go. And yeah, it was very nice. It wasn't the most potent flavor or smell of the tea that I've had. Like Kara says, the rhubarb tea was the most potent tea thing, flavor I've ever seen, heard, definitely smelled or tasted, not seen or heard. Um, but yeah, it was still very nice. And you asked about how I know Shayna, so this is crazy. I think I'm gonna make a whole video about this and some other crazy encounters on Vanilla Martini, but I will tell you about Shayna. So, almost a year ago at Starbucks, because I work at Starbucks, I was in the back doing some dishes, and one of my coworkers comes back and says, like, "Hey, Carol, there's a Parisian lady out front," and I was like, "What? Really?" Um, and so I came out to talk to her, and it's this woman, and we start talking in French, and it's great, and then she gives me her card so that we can get together and speak French. So basically, she's in the U.S. because she has friends in Colorado. No, she has family in Colorado Springs, and she does some work. She's a professional singer, actress, and dancer, and she does like musical theater in L.A. and in New York. But a while ago, like she fell in love with French musical theater, and so learned the language so that she could go and live in Paris because she loved it so much. So now she does music in Paris, and she lives there about half the year, and then she comes and sees family and friends and does some work for a while in the U.S. And so basically, we got together a few times just to speak French together and, to become friends and things like that. And then um, she gives me her business card, right? So that I can contact her. And she writes her phone number on it, and her name's she struck me as super familiar. Like she looked really familiar right off the bat. And she gives me her business card, and her name's Shayna, and I recognize her last name. I won't put it in the video just in case she doesn't want me to. I mean, her information's available publicly if she's an actress and stuff. But um, I recognize her last name, and I go. I mean, like she's already said she's got family in the Springs. So I said, "Do you have a a little sister?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Is her name Grace?" And she said, "Yeah." And I was like, "I went to high school with your sister." So, yeah, I don't know if her sister remembers me because she was a senior when I was a freshman, and I only know her because we did one musical together. But she was a lead, and I was just in the chorus, and it was my first show. So, like, honestly, I'd be really surprised if she remembered me. But I remember her, and that's just crazy. And that like Shayna, when she was in high school, went to the same high school as me and had the same theater director as I did, and like basically it's a small world. And then so we met up a few times to speak French together in the Springs, and then we hung out like a bunch actually um, when we were in Paris. And she left for the U.S. a day before we did, so she's going to be back in the spring in like a week or two, so I'm probably going to see her again before too long. See how long I've been filming for. Ooh, 7 minutes. So probably enough, especially since I need to get to bed because I have to work in the morning. So, um, it's too bad I cannot just talk to you about how my debriefing process is going and thoughts and things and traveling and some decisions and steps that I've made in my life. But I will get back to you, or it would be really nice if we could Skype or something. If any of you, not even if not all of you are available, if any of you are able to Skype or anything, or even just talk on the phone for a little while, I would really, really love that because I would like to talk to you guys. Vaseline all over my face. That's great. Anyway, so yeah, I really, really miss like talking to you just in Facebook chat, and it would be really nice to have another Google Hangout. I'm not a zombie at work tomorrow. All right. Well, love you all. I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.